Hello, everyone. I believe we are live. Oh, shoot. Yes. Welcome. Welcome to um, this little chat. Yeah, this morning and tea, tea together. Well, we've turned the calendar to a different number. I I don't really like this calendar that we're kind of programmed to be using because it's so disconnects us from the rhythm of of our natural rhythm of life. Like good grief, if you've been feeling really tired lately, that's like natural. We're still kind of in this hibernation mode, the rhythm of the earth, which we are all connected to. This is the time of rest, and rest is actually in the equation of being human. Like, and so, like I said, if you're feeling tired, it's really, really normal right now. There's this pressure when the first of the year comes to rush, like figure out your goals. Like, I don't know. And maybe resolutions are a thing of the past now. I don't know. They certainly are for me, but all that pressure of go, go, go right now when our natural rhythm is just stay calm and be in that hibernation kind of mode, um, just it throws us off, it disconnects us. And that's the whole thing. As long as we stay disconnected from the truth of who we are, we'll be in fear, we'll be in chaos, and um, it just keeps us from living our life like in power and in goodness and joy because we're afraid and we're scattered and we're chaotic and like that's just all kind of part of the program, just saying. Anyway, so glad to see you. Oh gosh, let's just take a breath. Oh, let's just connect in with our holy breath as it arises from that black womb of no thing, the nothingness that fills us and washes through us and rises again and fills us and washes through us, grounding us in the very breath of God. What else could that be? And so you are the breath of God. And so we can just start with the truth of who we are. And we can just say that out loud like, I am the breath of God living and breathing within me. It's who we are. Um, yes. So thank you. I, oh my gosh, I had so much like swirling around in my mind, and I had it all like somewhat organized. And then last night, I'm like, no, and I kind of threw all this other stuff in. So I hope this all comes out okay today. Um, so I got an email towards, well, I don't know, recently in my inbox, and this person said, okay, so I mean, this is me paraphrasing it. You don't need to do more. You don't need to be more. You get to receive more. And that just like hit home because first of all, this is the time of year where we're into all that pressure. Like we need to do more. And I think maybe some of us have realized that it's not about doing. And so then we moved into the being. I just need to be more. I need to be more of myself. I just, yeah, the beingness. but that's pressure too. It's like I'm not, somehow it feels like pressure, like I'm not doing it right. Like, how do I be more? And it's just be more of who you are. And what is that, you know? I mean, we know, I believe we all have this voice inside of us that knows who we are and wants to be that so much. And there's all these blocks, and it's kind of working our way in life through just unraveling what it is that's stopping us from being this that we know that we are, that is our full expression, because we're love. And, I quote that acronym a lot. Like, life is love in full expression. Like, what is it that you love that you want to just totally express? So, so be more of that. Well, um, but this idea, okay, let's just forget the doing, forget the being, and take all of that pressure off of us. And what if it's just about getting to receive more? So I love the Sophia Code. I quote it. I don't know that I quote it, but I refer to it quite often. And so I'm going to do that right now because in the Sophia Code, there are initiations. And um, so the initiations, they take place from a clearing out of what's old and what's in the way so that the initiation can actually land and integrate. And so in some places in these integrate or um, initiations, there is this these phrases in there that where there's just this deep gratitude, and then uh, just deep gratitude because I have received more of myself today. I mean, that's the phrase that is said fairly frequently. And I've read that, and kind of just sort of goes um I mean, it lands, but anyway, I've been thinking about this, receiving and not having to do or be, but just receiving what? Receiving more of myself. Like, yes, receiving abundance. Yes, receiving harmony. Yes, receiving all the things we want that we think are outside of us. But when we actually um, just open up to receiving more of who we already are, that feels so much easier and natural. Um, so what there, okay, so we were created with everything in us. We've heard that. Like the universe is within us. All our gifts, everything we want is never outside of us, even though we often go searching for that. It's always inside of us. So when we receive more of who we are, then we are tapping into um, our gifts, and yeah, the beingness just is. So, okay, so there's that piece. And then there's this other piece. And I'm like, just share with me your thoughts. Like it's because they've been my contemplation. All right, so I've been thinking about a closed mind and an open heart, like you, and realizing that you can't access your open heart with a closed mind. So, I like to think of myself as open-minded. I think we all do. It's like, yeah, I'm open to those ideas and open to that. But when we really dig deep, I discovered within myself, like, there's so much that is closing my mind. And like I said, like when your mind is closed, because it's closed with beliefs, So, because they're thoughts that we've been thinking. So that's what beliefs are. They're thoughts that we've been told to think, that we've thought over and over and over again until it becomes a belief. And a belief, we tenaciously usually hold on to our beliefs like we are right, like these beliefs are true. And they can trigger us if someone confronts us or challenges them. Like, no, we're those beliefs can be trigger points because there's something that our mind has created that we have latched onto and thought of and okay. But a knowing is so different. A knowing is like that knowing, like when you know something in your heart, you know it. And it really doesn't matter if who around you believes it or not. It's just like so deep within. It's like an unshakable knowing, and it doesn't matter. It's not a trigger point what other people think about it or not. So, all right, so I've sort of digressed. So, okay. So you've probably heard, I mean, it's out there that this your heart is a stargate. Your sacred heart is a stargate. So what is that? So to me, a stargate is this vast opening into the infinite, into the power of heaven, of God itself, like the all that is. Like your heart is that actual vast opening that accesses the power of the universe. So your mind is not a stargate. Your mind only knows what is it has experienced. It's actually like it's brilliant, and but it only knows what it's experienced. It's in a box, but your heart is this actual stargate. Your brilliant, incredible mind was created to follow your heart. And probably most of you are familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. Like all of his work and all of his science has been to show us that the coherence of the heart and mind are essential for creating and truly living alive. And if you listen to him, he is always about opening the heart, being in the heart, because the heart is the stargate, that opening that creates the access of the power of us creating the unlimited potential of whatever we want to create. Like we are creators. We are the creation of God, and we are also the creator as God. And so that when we can allow our mind to open enough to fall behind the heart and let the heart lead the way, our world will change. It's a big mess right now because it's all about calculating and figuring things out and being in the mind and that's actually deadly. That's actually not going to get us anywhere. And so I hope I make sense. I really hope I'm making sense. It's like we really um it's so important to look at our mind and really dig deep and I thought, because in some ways I'm sort of tired of hearing all of the mindset, all the everything that we need to change with our mind, but I'm realizing that step has been so important to be able to um, tell ourselves different stories and to open our mind to something very, very different than what most of us have been programmed into believing as truth, which has actually closed our mind, which has actually closed the access to our heart. I don't really believe our heart could ever be closed, although it feels that way. It's the beliefs that are blocking the open heart. So, okay. Um, I read this. So I come from a context of religious lies really that I grew up with that were embedded because my parents were and their parents. Like it's like so generational and so old. And I'm just going to read these. I stumbled onto a gentleman named Jim Palmer. He's on Substack. I think he might even be an author. But um, when I read these, I thought, oh my goodness, these are the beliefs. These are the beliefs that have closed my mind. Like I don't have these beliefs anymore. I don't know if I have any of them, but hardly any of them if I do. But I grew up with these. These were so programmed into my being. And if I'm going to read them because if they resonate with you at all, whether you grew up in a religious situation or not, if they resonate, if they're like, oh my gosh, I have that belief, just know that they originated from religion that has been here to keep us oppressed and suppressed and keep our mind closed in fear and all kinds of beliefs so that we cannot access our open heart. And when we open our open heart, we get to we like are who we are because we're pure divinity and those gifts within us, that's when we receive more of ourselves today. Like, okay, so all right, so I just got to read these because I don't know, they blew me away. All right, they're called Three Toxic Religious Lies to Unlearn by Jim Palmer. I am inherently bad. I can't trust myself. My heart is wicked. I deserve punishment. I don't measure up. I am powerless. Self-denial is holiness. I need forgiveness for who I am. I need saved from myself. I am worthless on my own. Staying in an abusive relationship is godliness. Professional therapy is a lack of faith. Self-care is selfish. There is only one way. The world is evil. The Bible is the only truth. If I mess up, I will lose my salvation and go to hell. Everything outside my church culture is a threat. I can never be good enough. Everything happens for a reason. Feelings are dangerous and are not trustworthy. I am not capable of thinking for myself. Conformity is true discipleship. Let go and let God. People I deeply love are in hell or will go there. Questioning is a spirit of rebellion. I must be perfect. My struggles mean I am not trusting God. Like, is that wild? I mean, for me, that was just totally wild. Like, no wonder. Oh my gosh. Okay, so those thoughts are thoughts that we don't even intentionally think. They're just in our system. They've been programmed, a lot of them. Um, and they are keeping our mind closed. No matter how open-minded we think we are, if we're hanging on to any of these, we get to go deeper. We get to look deeper into ourselves and into those beliefs. And you get to ask this question, who told me to think that? Who taught me to believe that? Like, where did that come from? Because when we start unraveling all the things that have closed our mind, that have kept us from the truth of our heart and accessing the power of our heart, um, we will we will fly. We will fly like in absolute freedom. And for me, like that's been my whole thing. It's like, I need to be free. Like, I want to be free to be me. I want to be free to live this life because I've always looked at life as being so amazingly miraculous and just here to play and have a great time, like enjoy it to its fullest. And I want that. I think we all want that. Like we came in um inherently born to be that, to have that desire to know ourselves as God, truly. Um yes, and when we are, there's so much joy. There's so much joy. And if we were all living in that kind of joy, like, can you even imagine what this world would be? Like, we would be celebrating each other, not fighting each other. We would be celebrating ourselves, not fighting ourselves. So, that's my pondering. That's been my pondering. And it's really, really made me want to dive in and take a look at where my mind is closed. Um, okay, so I'm just reading my notes because, yes, they are, because all the ideas and judgments and perceptions we have are actually from a closed mind. Um, yeah, I have this story I thought of in the night or yesterday, yes, it was. But um, one time, years and years and years ago, I went to see Zig Ziglar. Like, I don't even know if he's alive. But anyway, it was really impressive because he really understood the power of the mind and how important it was to shift it. But he gave this example, and it's so true. Um, because if we believe, we're down, things are hard, all of those things that are kind of like quicksand that take us under, um, if we got news that we were instantly going to go on the most fabulous vacation and we were going to leave like in 2 days, we would instantaneously change. Like we would be so excited. Everything we had to do that we've been putting off, that it would be done. We would get far more done in 2 days than probably we get done in 30 because we're going on a trip and it's something very, very exciting. And our mind has shifted everything. So the beliefs, those mindsets that were telling us how hard everything was and how bad everything was instantly shifted when we opened our mind to believe something very different. And um, I really love that because that our mind can close us or open us. And there's another story I wanted to tell. Oh yeah, okay. So because this thing about receiving more. So one time I was visiting my daughter in San Diego, and she loves just beautiful things. And she's like, so we'd go to these amazing art galleries, and they were incredible. And then we went to this amazing furniture store. I mean, you would furnish a mansion with them. It was really cool. But I wasn't as comfortable really in there. It was just like, I can't have any of this stuff. Like, why am I even walking around? And she was just having a great time. And because it didn't matter to her whether she could have it or not. But I had this mindset, it mattered to me, you know? But I remember feeling those feelings like, why am I even walking in here when this is like so above what I would put in my house. And I walked by this basket of or this table of baskets, and they were all different sizes and they were really amazing baskets. And I kind of looked at them and picked one up and set one down and and then I started to leave the table. And I heard this voice say to me, an inner voice say, Theresa, just carry a bigger basket. And that's really what I'm saying here. And I've thought about that often. It's like when you believe that you can't have or you're not enough, you're carrying a really small basket that you chose to pick up. So all you have to do is carry a bigger basket. All you get to do is receive more of yourself, like carry the bigger basket. So, in closing, I just want to say this. You don't have to be more. You don't have to do more. You don't have to be more. You just get to receive more. And may you open your mind so that you have access to this stargate of your heart that will take you all the places that you want to go, to be, all of it. It's unlimited. I think I've quoted this before. It's like the sky is not the limit, your mind is. Um, oh, and one other thing, actually. If any of you are interested, I am starting a Sophia Circle journey February 4th on Tuesday afternoons. And I just, to me, the Sophia Code is a love letter to humanity. It is. It says there in the book. And it truly is. It brings me back to the truth of who I am again and again. And I need that. So, anyway, if any of you are interested, I would love to have you join me. You can go to my website, theresagooch.com, click on Sophia Circles. It will tell you all about it. And if you're interested, let's connect. We'll have a phone call and see if it really is for you. So, thank you again. We will see you next week. So much love and gratitude to you. Bye bye.